If you're a victim or accused of a crime, you may be waiting even longer for justice, if you get justice at all. And that's because a growing attorney shortage in our state is impacting our criminal justice system. Compared to the national average, Indiana has 1/3 of the attorneys it should. Tonight, WRTV Investigates Kara Kenny focuses on solutions.
It would cost the state an estimated $53 million to pay for more than 400 prosecutors across the state. That's not happening anytime soon, so lawmakers and law schools are getting creative. Wide open spaces, farms, and friendly neighbors. Rural Indiana is special. It's also the hardest hit by the state's attorney shortage. Mario Reyes worked for the court system in White County, a rural county home to Indiana Beach.
There is quite a shortage of lawyers in the area. Most of the attorneys in the area are fairly older in White County. I think I saw a lot of the Hispanic population at the mercy of the criminal justice system because there was any attorneys that really spoke Spanish.
His work was part of the Rural Justice Initiative. It's a program IU McKinney School of Law launched back in 2019, which places students with judges, prosecutors, and public defenders.
We have sort of a mismatch of where people want to work and where there are jobs.
The goal of the initiative is to get law students interested in working in rural counties. So far, about 30 students have participated, and of those that have graduated, several have accepted offers or are currently working in rural counties.
What's the biggest impact that it's having so far?
Well, I think it's raising awareness as part of it, but also hopefully in a few years we look back and we see that some of these students, and I know that some of the students who participated this year, will end up working in that county or another county nearby.
IU McKinney School of Law also made a big change this year. It now offers a hybrid program, which means students can get their degree partially online and come to class only 2 nights a week instead of 5.
This is going to open the door to some students who before would have thought it difficult or impossible to be able to get a law degree.
Student Thomas Estabrook is taking advantage of the hybrid program, traveling 8 hours a week from Knox County. He's the mayor of Bicknell, Indiana, a city with no attorneys. That shortage inspired Estabrook to get his law degree.
It's very difficult. If law school was easy, everybody would do it. And in a lot of rural communities, there may not necessarily be the opportunities that there are in bigger cities.
WRTV Investigates took concerns about the state's attorney shortage to State Senator Aaron Freeman. He's a former Marion County deputy prosecutor.
What are state lawmakers doing about this problem?
Yeah, well, the short answer is I've tried to do what I can do.
He authored Senate Bill 280 that would have set up minimum salary requirements for prosecutors.
Your bill didn't make it out of committee.
It's always a challenge at the legislature.
Freeman also sponsored House Bill 1605, which would have provided retirement benefits to public defenders. It also failed to move forward.
Can you refile this bill?
We can. I mean, the short answer is yes. It's something we need to talk about.
However, the 2024 legislative session is a non-budget year, which makes it difficult for lawmakers to use state dollars to address the attorney shortage.
I don't think the state's going to have the magic bullet answer here, but I think we can do some things that would help.
Counties now have access to hundreds of thousands of dollars. Starting this year, they can use a small portion of the new judicial local income tax to pay for staff expenses, including courts, prosecutors, public defenders, probation, and community corrections. Other solutions in the works include a state loan forgiveness program for lawyers, using technology, allowing attorneys and their clients to appear via computer rather than in person, which will save valuable time, improving affordability of law school, and providing stipends or incentives to attorneys working in rural counties.
I'm most interested in criminal law.
Mario Reyes says he will consider working in a rural county when he graduates in 2026.
I think I can help start a change. I can help, shine a light on how the benefits of a rural county are to some of the younger people.
Some say another solution is to focus the resources we do have on prosecuting violent crime rather than nonviolent crime like minor drug offenses. Public defenders we spoke with say many of their clients are dealing with mental illness that should be resolved outside of the courtroom.
Kara Kenny, WRTV.
Kara, thank you. And tomorrow on the news at 6, how public defenders in Marion County are banding together and fighting back for better pay and lower caseloads.